in use. Nothing heard. Good morning or good evening. This is Paul, K4PEW Net Control for the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net. Is there any emergency or priority traffic? All righty. If you have an emergency, call 911 or go to the emergency room, one of the two. And or you can call us. We'll help you if we can. But call 911 first. 911. Net may be broken anytime for an emergency. Don't hesitate to just call out break, and we'll be there. For information on this net, you can see us on our monstrous website. It's a single page with lots of information at 146415.net, 146415.net, or Yahoo Groups at MJ_SS, or an email to me, Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey at ARRL.net. That's ARRL.net. We normally meet every Wednesday and Saturday night at 8 o'clock. We conduct a net on 146.415 if you weren't paying attention to your radio. And we've been doing it now. Next month will be 4 years, so we're doing pretty good, I think. The purpose of the net is to support and train ham radio operators for emergency communications and have some fun doing it, understanding how your Reagan antenna function and how well they get out and who you can hear, and become a great participant in, if we have or had to, and I hope we never have to, have emergency communications. Wait one. Of course, I'm on the live feed on the Brain Trusts, BRAINTRUSTS, on YouTube, or you can do the search on my call, Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey, on the same YouTube channel. You'll find me. The purpose not to look at me so much. Everybody gets enough of me, but you can hear what other people sound like to me as well as yourself. So I think that's an added benefit. People have told me it is, and that's why I do it. You don't have to look at me at all. You can just turn off your screen and leave the volume on. At any rate, the purpose of the net, we know, and then we invite everyone to use the net to announce amateur radio events, activities, and resources and training, etc., for the support of the local community, mostly the ham community, but ultimately we serve the communities in which we live. It's a directed net, and all traffic should be coordinated through net control, being me. Does anybody have any announcements? All righty, well, I'll give you at least one, and one is the Ham Fest. It's in Huntsville. That's on, oh my gosh, there it is somewhere. I can't even read it. I'm looking at the thing here. Can you see that? Doesn't really make it. It should be in big letters. It's Hamfest 2018, open to the public. August 19th. That should be in big letters, but it's in tiny ones. August 19th opens at 7 a.m. That's on. No, that's a Breck. Hold on. How is it possible? You can have an announcement I get in the mail today, and it's not clear what day the Ham Fest is. Should jump right out at you. Maybe it's on the other side. There it is, August 18th and 19th. It's on the other side. August 18th and 19th. So that would be today being the 8th. It's a week from Friday and Saturday, I believe, the 18th and the 19th of August. I don't have the August calendar in front of me. But anyway, for those interested, it's about a 2-hour drive, and that Ham Fest is one of the better ones. I've been to the one, never been to the one in Dayton, but I've been to the one in Orlando, and that one is you'll get tired of that one real quick because it's big. And I don't think, I know that Huntsville isn't quite as big, but it's very good. You can find anything you want. A lot of manufacturers there, MFJ's is there, and Yaesu, and ICOM, and Kenwood, and you name it, they're there. All righty. Any others? We also have the Cedars of Lebanon is coming up, and I believe that's the following week. No? Or the week before. Is that this weekend? It's Sunday? Is that what's correct? Does somebody have information? That's Sunday? I didn't look. Nobody answering me, so I'm guessing nobody knows. At any rate, Cedars of Lebanon's coming up this month as well, and you can look that up on the web. Cedars of Lebanon Ham Fest. All right, any other announcements? Nothing. I had sent out a reminder about 4 o'clock, and here it is 8 o'clock, and it still hasn't been posted. So anybody who gets a reminder, they'll probably get it later in the night. You can forget about it then, because there's no sense of getting a reminder after the net starts. All righty. Let's see what else. Oh yes, we have, of course, the today's Wednesday, and of course there's a Saturday night net, but there's also tomorrow night on the Wilson County Amateur Radio Club at 8 p.m. on Thursday evening, 147.105. It's 147.105 plus offset and a 156.7 tone. And of course, our net on that's it again, 8 p.m. And then Saturday, excuse me. And then on Saturday we have our net, of course, same time, 8 o'clock on 146.415. And then Tuesday is the Vanderbilt Club's net, AA4VU, and that's on 443.800. Plus offset and APL of 123.0. And that's at 7:30 p.m. on every Tuesday. Any other announcements or need any fill information?
The Cedars of Lebanon Ham Fest is on the 27th.
All righty. Cedars of Lebanon Ham Fest is the 27th, so it is the following week, and that is a Sunday. Sunday the 27th, and you have to look up where Cedars of Lebanon is. It's over at the Cedars of Lebanon Park, which is south of Lebanon. That's where it is. You'll find it. It's easy to find. And I appreciate that, Michael. Any other announcements, corrections, any corrections whatsoever? Please come in.
Breakfast Saturday.
Yes, I'm glad you said that. Breakfast Saturday at Barbecuties. I'm glad you said that. Breakfast at Barbecuties. That's 8 a.m. or you can get there early if you want to. And that's Barbecuties on North Mount Juliet Road, right about in the middle of town, just south of the railroad tracks, just south of the rail station, actually, the Music City Express that rolls through this area a couple times a day. But yep, 8 o'clock, Barbecuties. We had, I think we had 18 last month, so I'd like to see a crowd that big this month. I've got a dog here who's staring at me. Our new dog, our new Chihuahua, if you can believe it. All righty. Anybody have any input on that or corrections, or we invite everyone to attend, regardless of whether you've been on that once or 50 times. We'd love to have you at the breakfast on Saturday. We don't do any formal business. It's just fun and talking about radios, antennas, and whatever else you want to talk about. There's no rules about what's discussed. So, nothing else on announcements? And I appreciate that, Larry. I should have remembered that myself. All righty. Well, I think then we'll start taking check-ins from the west this time. Taking check-ins from the west of Mount Juliet Road. Please come in.
KM4YRF. I was asleep.
All right. KM4YRF. All right. Very good, Michael. You doing fine tonight, are you?
I'm doing real good, Paul. How about you?
Very good. Do you like the way I found it? You can put in radios real easy if you own a Jeep?
Yes, I did. I like that.
All I got to do is go find one of them, which has that attachment. Anyway, I just thought it was cute, that thing. All right, good. Appreciate you having you in there, Michael. That's Michael, Kilo Mike 4, Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. He's in Bellshire, northeast of Nashville. Not too far northeast, but northeast of Nashville. Who else? And of course, I'm in Mount Juliet, in case anybody was wondering. I'm right here right just north of 40 and just just north of I-40, about a quarter mile, and about a quarter mile west of 171, which is Mount Juliet Road, which makes me, when the leaves fall off the tree, I can see the top of Walmart. That's where I am. That's the center of community activity in this area, is Walmart. All right, who else we got west of Mount Juliet Road? Please come now.
Whiskey 4, Alpha Whiskey Echo.
I caught you in the right time of day this time, didn't I, John? How you doing?
Good. Yeah, I'm outside blowing leaves away, almost like a fall day.
Oh, wow. Hey, did somebody, you still have that X500, I think it is? Do you still have that available?
Yes, and I got an email about it. I was out of town Sunday, but I replied, I think, Late Monday. I haven't. I know I sent an email back.
Okay, very good. There was somebody I haven't talked to him yet. A third party told me he was interested, but he wasn't sure who was selling it, and I said, yeah, sounds like a great thing for him. And anyway, I'll make sure it was him if he comes up. That was Richard. Was that the fellow who contacted you?
You know, I believe so. I can't remember the first name. I almost think it was a Wilson County ham. Does that sound right?
Oh yeah, he was from Wilson County. Yeah, he lives over in Lebanon now.
Yeah. I'm sure that was him. I just haven't checked email yet today because I've just been out all day.
All right, very good. I'll just remind him if he checks in, and I'll ask him if he's still interested and make sure he contacts you. Well, very good, John. Of course, that's John Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo over in Bellevue. Yeah, I got it right. It's West Nashville, but it sounds better if we call it Bellevue.
Yeah, we have a lot of confusing little communities, all starting with the French word bell.
Yep, that's nice. I still can't get over, even and I've only been in this area for going on 7 years now, and I lived in Florida for 30 something, 37. And what cracks me up about Nashville, I never gave Nashville, the city of Nashville, a second thought. Not, I knew it was there, I knew it was in Tennessee. Then I come here and realize it is one busy place. I couldn't believe it. It shocked me, really.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, I'm from here originally, although I spent quite a bit of time away, and it has just grown, especially in the last 5 years, like even I can't believe.
Yeah, and that's obviously the problems that come with it. I was in Tampa from 73, and it just was taking off then. It was already, not because I showed up, but it was already growing, and of course it boomed in the 70s and 80s, and it really got, and now it's a monster. I don't know how many people are in the Tampa St. Pete area, but it's a couple million. And traffic is horrendous, and that's where I see this headed if they don't do something, and I don't think they can avoid it. So we'll just have to live with it, I guess. Very good. That's John Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo. Appreciate you being there, John, and he's in Bellevue. Who else west of Mount Juliet Road? Anybody west of Mount Juliet Road? Very good. Carl, haven't heard from you in a while. You incognito this past few weeks?
Oh, no, sir. Just a new job. Just kind of got my schedule all messed up. But good to hear y'all tonight.
Oh, yeah. Good to hear you. You sound great, by the way. Are you actually in Franklin? I'm trying to remember where you live.
Yeah, Franklin, Old Hillsboro, going towards Leapersport area.
Yeah, you got a great signal coming in here. Was that the reason Tom was challenged and put his antenna here? Because you had a good signal?
Yeah, maybe. I told him I was going to be on the net tonight, but he got to check in.
Oh, yeah. No, I appreciate you being there. And that's Carl, November 8, November Uniform Tango, one of the nuts in the group here. Hold on. Hang on one second. June, that's Gary. You guys get to hear me yell at my wife. All right. We appreciate you being there, Carl. Let's see what else. And that's Carl N8 NUT, and he's in Franklin. Who else we got west of Mount Juliet Road? Anyone else west of Mount Juliet Road? All right, we'll move around to the north of Division Street, north of Lebanon Road.
W9 BLQ, Dennis, Castalian Springs. Good evening, Paul.
See, you just checked in just fine from Castalian Springs up there.
Yeah, I know how to build antennas.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, Dennis, we contacted each other we were on I won't use the word, it starts with R, ends in R. It's the one over there on Sullivan Ridge, and we were talking about, mostly we talked about Simplex, and Dennis thought it was a good idea to check into the net here, so he did a great job. What kind of antenna are you running again there, Dennis, so we can tell everybody?
Well, I'm in my recording studio now, and I put up a homemade ground plane dual band that I found online from
David, he calls himself ZZ. I'm not exactly sure why yet, but it worked great right from the get-go. And Paul, I have to go to town for 3 days, and I have to pack. So I'm gonna bug out, and I may check back in a half hour after I get my luggage packed.
Very good. We'd be happy to have you back. And yeah, and be careful to pack, because that was always when I worked for a living, which has been about 10 years now. But that was always the biggest problem, was packing and making sure I had everything that I was supposed to have. And I always worried about that. And then I worried about where my luggage was, and then I worried if I left my luggage somewhere. And always those worries.
WNBO2 clear. Good evening to the net.
Yeah, very good. That was Whiskey 9, Bravo, Oscar, Quebec. It's Dennis. He's in Castellan Springs. The first time check-in. And again, we met over there on one of our words. It's not a 4-letter word. Just a bad word. To us, anyway. Anyway, who else we got north of Mount Juliet Road, or north of Lebanon Road, north of Division Street?
In for JRM.
Hey, how you doing there, James?
I'm doing great. Just jumped on here to check in. Good to hear you out there, sounding good as always.
Yeah, that's you can't let people down, man, with a bad signal.
I'm probably disappointing people then.
No, your signal sounds great to me. Of course, you're only a couple of miles from me, but no, you sound great. You got a good, solid signal, good audio.
Well, good to know we can make it to the south side of Mount Juliet.
Yeah, which is no great feat, especially since you're not that far away. But James, I appreciate you being here. And that was James, November 4, Juliet Romeo Mike, and he's in, well, it's North Mount Juliet, isn't that what we call it?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
All right, very good. James has been on the net off and on for mostly off in the last little bit, but he was one of the early participants. Who else we got? That's in Mount Juliet, of course. Who else we got north of Division Street or north of Lebanon Road?
Kilo 4, Uniform Echo Yankee.
All right, it's Kilo 4 Uniform Echo Yankee, isn't that right?
That's correct. Hoyt out of Eduardo.
Yes, Hoyt. I'm glad you said that, because I don't think I would have remembered your name, but I like it because it's an unusual name, and I should remember it easily. I don't hear that many Hoyt other than an old country and western singer. Good to have you in there. And you're in LaGuardo, correct?
That's correct. Just off of Highway 109.
You're still working off that handheld? I hope not.
I am. My new radio's coming in, but is here, but I'm having a little trouble with my antenna setup. But maybe a few days I'll be up and working.
Sounds good. Well, your handheld's doing a fine job, really. But you've got a new one coming. And that's Hoyt in LaGuardo, Kilo 4 Uniform Echo Yankee, and he's working off a handheld with a makeshift, as I recall. He had a kind of a makeshift wire, using it as a ground plane, like a quarter wave ground plane off of the base of the antenna on the handheld, which I don't know if it improves it any, but he's got a good signal on the HT. Good to have you in there, Hoyt. Who else north of Lebanon Road? All righty, then we'll move over to the east of Mount Juliet Road.
WA4 is that HI.
For Sierra India Bravo.
All right, Richard, hang on. I got James first. James, you sound great as always. Doing all right?
Yeah, doing pretty good. Did a little things today and wore myself out.
I just do one thing and I wear myself out these days. Yeah, I was going to mow the lawn and I said, nah, it's too hot. Lawn's too wet and I'm too tired.
Yeah, I had a storm this morning, but I had my grass cut yesterday by a guy.
Oh, man, you mean you're not doing your own grass?
No, he does it for $40. That's fine.
Yeah, you're right. Front and back, and he does a weed eating and everything, huh?
Yeah, he does it weed eating, edging, all that.
That's not too bad. I may contact him next time I don't feel like doing the lawn. All right, very good, James. That's James, Whiskey, Alpha 4, Zulu Hotel, India. You haven't changed any of your antenna stuff, have you?
No, I'm still parked in the same place.
You're not tripping over there, are you?
Well, almost.
All right, very good. James is you're still indoors though, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, he's got a nice indoor antenna. It's a nice antenna, but because of restrictions by the homeowner Gestapo. He can't have it outside, at least during the daylight hours. All right, James, good to have you in there. He's right here in the heart of Mount Juliet as well. He's about 2 miles north of me, just east of 171. Who else east of Mount Juliet Road?
Kilo India 4 Sierra India Bravo.
And did you send John that, Richard, did you send John that email about the antenna?
Should I do what now?
Oh, John was that fellow who was selling that that diamond antenna that you expressed some interest in, I think, and you thought it was somebody else who was selling.
No, I didn't contact him because I didn't have any idea how to.
Oh, okay, very good. That would be, I'm pretty sure his email is on QRZ. Let me look real quick like here.
What's his call?
Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo, and it's John over in West Nashville. But he's the one selling it and it still isn't sold, so if that's the one you want, he's the man.
So he does have it. Is it the 510?
I believe it is, yes.
Are you speaking into your mic or your audio's low?
All right, is that better? K4 PW.
Wonderful. He's in Bellevue, correct?
That is correct.
Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo, correct?
Yes, Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo, yes.
Okay, I'll look him up on QRZ and make contact with him. Thank you.
All right, very good. Glad you mentioned about the audio thing. You sound good tonight. That was Richard. He's over in Lebanon, and it's Kilo India 4 Sierra India Bravo. Who else east of Mount Juliet Road?
CE4TWI.
Hey, Nelson, what's up?
I couldn't help myself. I thought that portion of the website was not being utilized.
Yeah, I'm with you. No, that's not Nelson. It's just kind of an inside joke. That's Wes over in Watertown. And are you on your beam tonight, are you?
I am, and Richard was blown out of water. So Richard, what you did, keep it that way. KE4TWI.
Well, Richard is hoping to put up a new antenna, so you're going to have to back away from your radio during the nets. And anyway, that's Wes, Kilo Echo 4 Tango Whiskey India in, well, near Watertown. Anyway. No, but you sound good tonight, Wes.
Wes, you owe me a speaker.
Well, hey, whatever you've done, it sounds great, Richard. All right, I'm back out. KE4TWI.
All righty. Appreciate it, Wes, and appreciate it, Richard. Who else east of Mount Juliet Road? That must be Kevin on low power.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, goodness gracious. Yeah, Wes, you owe me a speaker too, man. Shoot, come in here blasting me out like that. I almost fell out of my chair. Well, doing pretty good, Paul. I can't complain, man. Everything's going well. I didn't get no call back from the doctor or anything, and so I'm good to go, I guess, on that. Maybe they probably need a little bit more time to call me back some other time. Had a little storm this morning, and the antenna was flopping around like a wet noodle. I almost thought it was going to fall over, Paul. Man, I tell you, I'm glad I got that thing off, but it's up there, and we still got it going on. Hopefully, we're not going to, because maybe tomorrow it'll blow over. But yeah, there's not a whole lot going on over here. Just same old stuff every day. I hope everybody out there's having a good day and can hear me. And if not, then I still hope you have a good day. And still wish you could hear me. KT4,
At some point, did you bump up the power?
No.
I expect anybody to hear you that's on the outlying areas. They're going to think, who the heck is Kevin?
Yeah, he's that incognito dude.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, my wife told me that the vet called. You mentioned doctor. My wife, during dinner, she says, oh, by the way, the vet called and the dog's heartworm test came out negative, but there was evidence that he's eating other dogs' poop. And I'm like, hey, thanks for telling me at dinner. You know, that's real good news.
Oh, yeah, that's yeah, absolutely. That's what you want to hear about.
So I mean, how good is it to tell me that? Like I control what he does on the yard, you know? Hey, don't do that. All right, very good, Kevin. Good to have you in there. That's KG4. It's Kilo Golf 4, Mike India Zulu, Kevin over in Lebanon. Who else east of Mount Juliet Road?
KG4 and stuff. Have you done north yet?
I did, but I'll take you now, Charles. It's just K4PEW. How you doing, Charles?
Oh, I haven't had a heck of a day. I finally went to the emergency room, and I got prescribed amoxicillin, but I don't have enough money to get it.
Some of those antibiotics are available free at Walmart or Kroger, or I forget which one. They do it for nothing.
Well, actually, I didn't know, but I think they're helping me get health insurance up here at this hospital at Sumner Station. That's where I went, and I got that for my chest congestion, and the ringing in my ears is my teeth. I got a tooth infection.
All right. Good health report from Charles up there in Cottontown. It's KG4 Sierra Foxtrot Fox. Well, I'm glad you got to the doctor, Charles. I mean, it's like, you know what they say, if you don't have your health, you ain't got nothing. Now, if you got your health, you got everything. That's what it is. So, yeah, it's important to keep up with your health. And you're still a young guy, so I'd keep after it if I were you and do everything you can to get the medication you need.
Well, I wasn't so lucky. The antenna came down again today. Boy, that was some wind, and I got it back up for now, and I got to get this guy wire. I'm going to need some help over here. I don't know who's going to help me, but I don't know what I'm doing. I'll be honest.
All right. If we get any volunteers, I'll let you know. Let me move on. I appreciate you being there, though, Charles. And again, that's Kilo Golf 4 Sierra Foxtrot in Cottontown. Anybody else? Well, he was a little late check-in from the north area, but we were looking for the east check-ins. Please come in. Well, then I'm on to the south of I-40. Please come in.
And one MD2.
Hey, is this your night off?
Yeah, one of a few.
And I haven't talked to you. Your wife's doing okay?
Ex-wife's doing better. Gone back to work part-time and just working on getting better and actually in a athletic mode. So that's been a good thing. Just trying to encourage that.
You know, if she gets much better, you might have to get her a second job.
No, the one was too much to begin with.
Yeah, I'm with you. Very good. Yeah, I'm glad to hear she's doing better, and it's obviously a relief to you and the extended family.
Yep, and thanks for asking. Not much else to report. Just 73s to the group and back to that. And one MD2.
Yeah, very good. That's Michael, and that's November 1, Mike Delta Juliet, and he's here in Mount Juliet, just east of, he's over, I forget the name of the road, but he's about a couple, 3 miles east of 171 south of Fort. Appreciate you being. What's that name of that main road there that you're off of?
Right off of Beckwith, south of 40.
Yeah, that's it, Beckwith. I never get on that road. That's why I see it all the time, but I'm never going that way. All right, very good, Michael. Right off of Beckwith Road and I-40, south of I-40, that is, here in Mount Juliet. Who else south of 40?
Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor.
Larry, you're doing great in there as always. I don't know. I hope you're keeping that. You get up there and service that antenna once in a while.
Had to taste it since it's been up there.
You're right. If it's installed right, it's going to last a while. But how long have you had it up there?
About 20 years.
Hey, man, that's a hell of a preventive maintenance program you got.
Well, when it goes, I'm going to put up with a big one.
Oh, yeah. And I can't, that's unbelievable. 20 years. That's a great record. You must have done a fine job on the install.
Well, I thought and done everything I could think of anyway. We'll let you get back to it. KU4SYV.
Yeah, very good. That's Larry, Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor, and he's in Rockville. Who else south of 40?
KN4CCQ.
Hey, Preston, you sound pretty good yourself.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, you sound good as always. All out this way. Very good signal.
Yeah, using a different mic, your audio seems a little muffled, and if you want to hear it, you can hear it at 8:30, 8:29 after the into the net. But it sounds just a little muffled, or either that or you're too close to the mic. I'm not sure which.
Yeah, I got that headset on with the boom mic. it may be wearing out, or yeah, there's no telling.
Is that one of those expensive headsets or one of the less expensive ones?
No, it's just an old cheapie. I don't remember what I gave for it, but it wasn't a whole lot.
Oh yeah, I know it. That's give me one of those off of Amazon.
I'm not sure what. I think I got it from DX, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, well, sometimes I think I paid too much. I bought that Heil headset, which I'm not using now, obviously, but they had, that Heil headset with the correct adapter for their radio is right at about $300. So that thing's going to last me the rest of my life.
Copy that. I don't know. I'll switch over here and see how it goes.
All right, very good. That's Preston, who's in Possum Trot at Kilo November 4, Charlie, Quebec. What a good signal. Wearing a headset. That's cool. Not too many guys do that, I think. Not too many. I have done it, but not recently. Who else south of 40? Please come in.
W1 KOF. Glenn.
Hello, Glenn. How are you? You sound good.
Good. Nothing to do here, just a night of working, but all is well.
Forgive me for not remembering. Where are you located?
I'm on the other side of the lake from you. Over on Bell Road, Murfreesboro area. Yeah, Sailboat and Edge Lake.
Oh, yes. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's a nice area. Which is a lot of nice areas around Nashville. You guys who are from here probably take some of it for granted, but Nashville, really, the surrounding area is very nice.
Yes, it's grown up a lot, that's for sure. But yeah, a lot of places around here are real good.
Yeah, I was remarking, we went down to Huntsville last Sunday. Nothing to do with radio, just in fact we picked up a dog. And it was a nice day. It was, we're going over the landscape, and I remarked to my wife and my mother, and anybody who'd listen, I said, I want you to look at all this beautiful land, and all you see is trees and landscape and hills. Who says it's overpopulated in this country? Nobody. Apparently they don't get out of New York City or Los Angeles.
That's true. Yeah, it could be a lot worse. There's not a lot of places to go to. Still, you could be in the country in no time. Come out of the city.
Oh, no question about that. It doesn't take just a couple of minutes, really. All right, very good to have you in there, Glenn. That's Glenn, Whiskey 1 Kilo Oscar Mike, and he's just on the other side of Percy Priest Lake, I believe. Isn't that what it really is? It's on the west side?
Yeah, I'm like 9 miles from across the lake. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, you're just west. I just looked at the map. Just west of Long Hunter State Park on the other side of the lake.
Yeah, that's it. You're in.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, they don't let me on your side of the lake. I've only been on my side of the lake over here in the east. All right, good to have you in there, Glenn. Again, Whiskey 1 Kilo Oscar. My good signal there on the west side of Percy Priest Lake. Who else south of 40?
K4OFO.
K4OFO. Donnie, how you doing?
Doing good. We were lucky down this way today. We didn't get all that wind everybody's talking about. Got a little rain this morning, very little, but didn't get the wind. I'm thankful for that. But very good. Hope everybody on net's doing good. I'm not going to take too much of your time. And but I'm back to net. Thank you.
Yeah, very good, Donnie. Good signal. That's Donnie. He's south of Mount Juliet. Actually, he's in Davidson County, just south of down Hobson Pike there a little bit, south of Mount Juliet. But that's Kilo 4 Oscar, Foxtrot Oscar in, I guess it's called Hermitage.
The forgotten side of Hermitage.
That's apparently the wrong side of Hermitage. It's on the east side of Percy Priest Lake. How'd they manage that?
Got a little mixed up on that.
Yeah, that's all right. You're unique. That's the best part. It makes you unique. Very good, Donnie. Again, Kilo 4 Oscar, Foxtrot Oscar, Donnie in south of Mount Juliet in Hermitage on the east side of the lake. Who else south of 40? Please come in. Hello, Scott. Sound good. You're not mobile again, are you?
No. Well, But I did have a buddy in Murfreesboro trying to get involved in the net here. He and I can talk full quality, but you were solid white noise with him. He couldn't hardly understand a thing you were saying.
Really? That's hard to imagine. What's he using for an antenna?
He got, I think he's got a broadband mobile antenna mounted in the attic. And, he hits those R things real well, but, for the Bible net in the morning. It's NAPPY, Rusty. And, so he's getting good transmission out. Like I said, he and I are just super, clear to each other. But, he said he couldn't pull out what you were saying.
That's odd, and he lives in Murfreesboro?
Yes, he does.
Well, I can work mobiles and handhelds down there. He must be using a plastic coat hanger.
I don't know. But thought I'd let you know that's two that I would have had to relay to you.
Yeah, very good. Well, also I'd have to talk to Rusty if I catch him in the morning. Might be a good time, and see if we can have a normal conversation. Because I don't know. Maybe I'll have to look him up because I can't imagine there's that much barrier between him and me. And I can hit pretty much everything in Murfreesboro. All right, very good, Scott. That was Scott, Kilo 1, Sierra Papa Delta, and he's in Laverne. Good signal again, Scott. Who else south of 40?
I wouldn't fret too much about it. I'm not hearing hardly anything tonight on the northern and eastern stations that I probably could hear. K1SPD, back to that.
Yeah, but Scott, come on, give me a break. I hear everything. Well, at least I like to think I do. And everybody should hear me, but obviously everybody can't hear me. If Rusty can't hear me, there's something wrong. We got to figure out what that is. All right. Appreciate it, Scott. Again, Kilo 1, Sierra Papa Delta in Laverne. Anybody else south of 40? Nothing heard. Then we'll start taking late check-ins. Any place, anywhere, north, south, east, west, northeast, southeast, southwest, northwest. Nothing heard. And we'll move on to the lollygaggers, lurkers, sandbaggers, and scanner listeners.
And for BTW.
Were you waiting? Were you waiting for that, Cole?
No, it just took me a moment to get out of the chair and come over to the radio.
All right, very good. So you fell into the bad category. Okay, by the way, that's Kilo Mike 4 Bravo Tango Whiskey, and that's Colt, and he's up off of Nonaville Road, as I recall, in North Mount Juliet. And you're still using that, what is it, 85 watts?
It's 80 watts. It was Kilo November 4 Bravo Tango Whiskey. Close, but not quite.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I do know that, and I wrote it down as an M instead of an N. Mike instead of a November. Well, very good, Cole. You're doing fine. And the antenna you have up there now is what?
It's a ground plane. It was made by KE4TWI, West Toomey, and it's just thumbtacked to the ceiling of my bedroom at almost ground level. So it's not great, but it's been working.
Oh, yeah. No, you're solid into me. And I don't think it's just a power issue. I mean, the audio is good and the signal quality is decent. And so your elevation and location must be pretty decent.
Yeah, it's doing pretty good. I've got a huge hill to the, well, not huge, pretty good sized hill to the north, and south is all downhill all the way past 40, pretty much, just about, except there's a big bump there by the library.
Yep, I'm with you. And that's why it's interesting that you get in here, because you were 20, on that last transmission I looked, and you were about 20 over S9.
Dang.
I know, that's very good for a thumbtacked antenna on the wall. I mean, you got it on a window wall, I hope.
No, not even that.
Okay, you're really playing the cards bad there. I talked to somebody the other day when we were talking about it. He says, no, I've got the roll-up antenna hanging from the curtain rod between the curtain and the sliding glass door, so nobody in the house can see it.
I have it's a north-facing window, probably 6-7 feet away from it, and an east-facing window, maybe 15 feet across the room, so it's not super close to either of them.
No, you're doing fine. I wouldn't change a thing. well, unless you're getting up a better antenna at a higher elevation, and so you can do a lot more than me, but you're doing fine otherwise, Colt. And it's Colt, Kilo November 4 Bravo Tango Whiskey, Nonaville Road, north of Lebanon Road in Mount Juliet. Anybody else north of or anywhere? Lurkers, sandbaggers, lollygaggers, and scanner listeners. The scanner listeners are going to have to text or email me or give me a comment on the YouTube feed. All righty, then we're going to close the net, and we'll be taking the procrastinators tomorrow, or if I'm hanging around later this evening. So appreciate everybody being there. We had a grand total of 19. I'll take one last try. Sometimes we get a straggler out there, particularly if they're out of state. Anybody else? Late check-ins, late check-ins after the sandbaggers, please come in. Nothing heard, so we're closing down the net. We had a grand total of 19. Our average pretty much has been about 23 overall the last few months, I guess. And our anniversary, of course, is coming up next month for 4 years, which to me is a major feat. And don't forget to take a gander, if you haven't already, at the 146415.net website. I've got a couple of changes I'll be putting up there hopefully in a couple of days. Anyway, I just hope you guys have all seen that. And this is K4PEW closing the net.
Hey, Paul, for that anniversary, you buying breakfast, right?
Yeah, I normally buy breakfast for myself. I don't make anybody else do it.
I'm talking about for us.
I don't know. It ought to be the other way around. All you guys buy me breakfast. Maybe that would be cheap. Everybody could chip in 10 cents.
All right. I just thought I'd throw that in. All right. Paul, Rusty must have he said, Scott said he had a three-band mobile rig in the top of his house. You should be able to hear